Research that has been conducted on leisure as a mechanism for coping with the post-treatment phase of breast cancer has been promising. Previous studies highlighted the importance that breast cancer survivors place on leisure activities as a means of improving their quality of life. This project was an exploratory case study that examined the potential for enhancing the quality of life for breast cancer survivors by expanding their leisure repertoire to include fly fishing. I worked on the DIVAS on the Fly research project under the guidance of Dr. Wayne Pilo, Adjunct Professor, Faculty of Management, Vancouver Island University. A number of women who were identified by the BC Cancer Agency's Care and Research Clinic were invited to participate in the research project, and 13 volunteered for the 9-month study. Using in-depth interviews, observations, and focus groups, much was learned about the potential benefits of introducing fly fishing as a leisure activity for post-treatment breast cancer survivors. What follows are highlights of the research project.
Three rounds. Clockwise, 1, 2, 3. Down. 3 rounds.
Yeah. Now, you shake it so the line will press the action. Yeah. If you were to twist,
I did bring my glasses.
the reason
When you have enough glasses, I'll see it.
outside,
That was okay.
That would help you, okay? Try to work around it.
Rod in front of you, what are some of your observations? What do you notice about it? How does it feel like? Very light, okay. What else? What do you notice about it? Wiggly.
Very flexible.
Yeah, so less flexibility.
That was like we did each other.
Get a sense of where that top is. Jerry, turn it over, let it go over. Yeah, and then just start putting your finger out or a hand out, and you'll feel, yeah, when you find out there's a balance point. And that's the reason why, as I said earlier, is that there is balance is really important with an outfit, and they all do become balanced. So very light, right? Probably the whole thing probably weighs 4.5, maybe 5 ounces, the whole outfit. And part of that is so that your arm doesn't get fatigued, because if you think about it, you're out fishing all day, you're on the water, you know, for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, you could get very fatigued.
And then you stick the yarn into it.
You have your rod, and you have your reel, and you have the line. And the rod itself, what happens is that the line, as you put the line out, it goes forward on your forward cast, but when you bring it back, it goes back, and it'll actually load the rod, what we call loading the rod. So it makes it so that the rod is ready to shoot the line.
Let's just all try it together. Maybe that'll... Okay. Everybody back. Okay. Forward to 2 o'clock. Stop it quickly. Don't not too far down. Stop it. Stop.
Every bug has some type of a specific movement to it. So when you're out there, and your line is out there in the water, that's what you're trying to do. Is you want to try to be able to imitate what that particular bug is doing out there. So I'll show you a couple of different possible options.
Right there. Right there. Coming for you, Pat.
Right into the net like so, okay? So now the fish isn't going anywhere, but it's not going to get hurt because it's in the water. Now these nets float. Just put it down. Watch your hands. Watch your hands. And we're just going to So I'd just like to thank everybody for coming back, sort of sharing some of your thoughts and ideas you've had. The intent essentially is formative and evaluative type process that we're going to use. So everything that we're doing is just trying to gather information that's descriptive. So it's going to be about your thoughts or how you feel about different things, your impressions on the weekend. And then we've also got some other questions more around fly fishing as a leisure activity and its relationship with breast cancer treatment and some of those kinds of things.
I found after my diagnosis that leisure activities are really important, especially very active activities, because hearing that you have cancer, of course your brain goes, oh my God, I'm going to die. And then I'm out on my bike for 2 hours going, well, am I going to die? I've just done this, great bike ride. So leisure activities were really helpful for me at that point in time.
Because it's the fly fishing itself, I felt it was almost like meditation. I felt that even though there were a lot of people around,
Yes.
I was just sort of on the dog, sort of doing my thing, and I really believe in inner peace, and that this has a lot to do with your healing. And I can see where this fly fishing gives you that inner peace.
Because it was a pilot project, and because it was a research project, because it was going to be something with women in the same situation, and my experience is when you get into these situations, they're always wonderful. The people along this whole journey, I don't think I've met anybody that wasn't the same way. And for me, it was an opportunity to try something that I never would have done, and I loved it. So
Try something new in a safe environment.
yeah. But yet, if somebody had just said to me, do you want to go fly fishing or something like that, would have been a flat no, probably.
It has done a wonderful impact for my life.
I'm much more out to defend the time, to keep the leisure way up there. And I believe that it might lengthen my life, but if it doesn't, it's even more important. Like if my life is going to be shorter, oh man, it's better be fun. It's an irony in a way. I feel very badly for people that then don't have access to a leisure activity, because what if the opposite is true? What if their life is both shorter and not as much fun? As it were, with a feeling like that. But if I always did something for an hour, so every day was, something to hang your day off.
Okay.
Gives you sort of something to focus on.
I think there should be a focus on leisure activity when you're diagnosed and during treatment, because it's right, it does take your mind off. You need something to focus on that's going to take your mind off all the treatment and any of the ill effects.